turn it. I see the boat jump. Everybody see that boat jump? Give it a couple turns to get the thread started. Then I'm going to look over here, my 3/8 window or the circle, line up the square dead in the center. Right? You're going to do this anytime you take the barrel off or put the barrel on. To line that up. Everybody remember why I said it's important to line that up?
It won't work.
So it doesn't shoot off.
So you don't grind your barrel notches or break the barrel lock or spring lock. Alright? If you do one of those two things, that's when it'll unthread, send the barrel down right. Alright, so you're going to turn it all the way until it stops turning. Back it off 2 clicks. Alright? Now from there, get my Headspace and timing gauge. I'm sure all you know what the Headspace timing gauge looks like. You've played with it a little bit. I'm going to get the go side. Now here's where some lieutenants get confused. They want to line up the square and the circle to do the headspace. It's not. Just a 1/16 of an inch, basically, when I start seeing those barrel notches. Reason why we do this, I probably didn't tell you yesterday, but reason why we do this is I'm simulating there's a round in the chamber and that my operating group isn't going to be all the way together. Alright? If this is in y'all's way when you're doing headspace, you're just going to push it over, make sure it's straight up and down, and goes to the ring on the go side. Take it out, flip it over. Since my go went, I'm going to go on the no-go. Straight up and down, make sure it's straight up and down. Put some firm pressure. As long as it makes a little indentation in your hand, that's as firm as you need to go. You don't hammer this in. It is shaped to 1/1000 inch, alright?
You put it right there?
Yes, that's your T-slot right here.
So doesn't it make a big difference how you have to keep the exact same amount of pressure, right, on the ball carrier group, right? Or else the no-go could if you accidentally push it more.
That's right. On this case, it doesn't, but you can get a false reading because I asked lieutenants, like I failed them, and I said, I'll say, show me how you did headspace and timing. And then they'll find the square and the circle, and then they're doing it, and I said, no, that's wrong. You get a false reading. You can't leave it forward because you get a false reading also. Right?
You only line up the square and the circle initially when you...
Only line up the square and the circle for putting the barrel on and taking the barrel off. That's the only time. Alright.
Back up.
We good to push on timing? Alright. Fire gauge. Stick it in on the beveled edge against the barrel notches. Come to the back of my weapon.
Don't worry, I'm put this on you.
Take the back plate off. Screw my timing nut clockwise, down 10 to 15 clicks. Tip to fire. Should not fire. Now, however, if it does fire, what am I going to do?
Let's go back a few, like 5 more.
So what I got to do before I do that? Take the gauge out, recharge it, get the firing pin out, and go down 10 more clicks. Everybody understand that? Alright, since it doesn't fire though, that's good. Now I can go counterclockwise 1 click at a time. Remember to depress the trigger firmly while you're doing this. The closer to the top it goes, the easier it is to push. So if you're doing it firmly, you're going to find it the first firing window. Test it, you'll have 7 minutes to complete this. There's plenty of time. Alright, it fired. Now, counterclockwise, go 2 more clicks to put me in the middle of that firing window for heating and expansion. Right. Take my gauge out, recharge the weapon. Now I'm going to check my no fire gauge. Shouldn't fire. Now, like I said yesterday, if you ever get a weapon that fires on no fire, you're going to repeat this process again. And if it happens again, take your armor and get them to check out the timing mechanism, alright? Alright, doesn't fire. So I'm gonna flip it back over to my fire side and just confirm it since I did go up those 2 more after it fired the first time. Headspace time is set. Is everybody good on headspace and timing? Question? Alright. Move on to loading. You can load this weapon in single shot or full auto. At the range, you're going to be in full auto, alright? Just make sure that you can keep this weapon safe until you're ready to fire. Because the only thing that safety does is keep that butterfly trigger from the lever from coming up into the trigger more, alright? So, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on full auto. Female inside. Everybody knows what the female side looks like on rounds, right? Either no loops or 2 loops. We're never going to stick the 1 loop in first. You might get 2 rounds off if you do that, and then stop cycling. All right. I'll put the first round over the belt holding paw. Close top cover. What condition am I in?
3.
Alright. How many times do I got to rack in condition 1?
2.
Alright. 1, 2. Now,
If you racked it once, would it be condition 2?
only thing it does when I rack it once
Is just get it ready.
same thing at that round in the chamber right now. It's just going to move that round from the belt holding paw over to the cartridge stop. First, second round, or the extract ejector is going to be in between the first and second round. Alright. So, I'm firing on the range and I get a ceasefire for some reason. I'm going to take condition 1 down to condition 4. I'm going to put this weapon in the safest mode possible, which would be
Condition 4.
shot, right? So I'm on safe. Go single shot. Pull the bolt back to the rear. Maintain that positive control. Open the top cover. Off my round length. Now, notice I got a round on the face of the boat. To get that off, I'm going to go all the way to the back where the face of the boat is. Pick up. Jiggle around. Everybody remember when I was talking about the bolt being all the way to the rear? If it's not, the extractor ejector only lifts up that far versus this far. So make sure you get all the way back. After I deem that the face of the boat's clear and that the chamber is clear, let's retract slide handle forward, L-shaped method, send the boat home on empty chamber. Everybody good on loading and unloading? Alright, moving on to immediate and remedial action. Full auto again, because that's the way you're going to be firing this weapon out on the range. Alright. Fire, click. First thing I do.
Immediate action.
Misfire.
There we go. Misfire. Wait 5-6 frame fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the boat back to the rear. What am I looking for?
Feeding and extraction.
Feeding and ejecting, right? Alright, it feeds and ejects. What do I do?
Side in, attempt to fire.
Alright, if it doesn't, what do I do?
Do it again. Remedial action.
Remedial action, right? Because we already waited the 5 seconds.
So you don't do it 3 times?
If it doesn't feed, it's like
Doesn't feed. Alright, so, doesn't feed. Now, if it is feeding, but it's still like when you attempt to fire on remedial action, you're going to do it 3 times. Then you're going to go to remedial. I was getting to that. Everybody understand what I'm saying, right? So, remedial action. Basically, all I'm doing is investigating the cause. First, I got to determine what.
Hot barrel.
Alright. What makes a hot barrel?
202.
2 minutes left.
Alright. How long am I waiting?
15 minutes.
Alright. So, in that 15 minutes, I'm going to stay pointed down range, put the weapon on safe. Go ahead and put it in single shot mode. Safest mode possible. Alright? Wait that 15 minutes. Come back. Then what's the rest of the remedial action? Basically clearing the weapon. Good to go. And then I'm going to inspect my weapon and ammunition. Alright? Is everybody good on everything that I've covered? Alright? You feel confident about it, gents? Alright, go ahead and break down and start doing some practice.